Ladies and gents, welcome back. We are in a situation where Pat King, who was instrumental in the Freedom Convoy in Canada back in January and February in Ottawa, has been detained, awaiting charges, which keep gathering. It seems that the charges started with mischief and consulting to commit mischief, and now he's being charged with perjury, it seems. Now, that's not really the story today, because this is all old news. What's most pressing today is the fact that he's now spent 100 days behind bars in pretrial detention without bail. Now, bail is afforded to some of the worst offenders in our society, people who are accused of the big M, something I shouldn't say because YouTube doesn't like to hear that word. But the big M and the big R, the two, the struggle, snuggles, and deletion of people. People accused of those crimes are let out on bail, yet we have an individual who happened to be associated and not a leader. In my opinion, Pat King was a bit of a blowhard, and he showed up and tried to take charge of a thing that was already being organized. Some people might disagree with that, but that's kind of how I saw it when I was reporting on it. But nonetheless, Pat King was arrested under the charge of mischief 100 days ago, more than 100 days ago now, and he is not being released on bail, awaiting his trial. Now, it's pretty cloudy, the information on it. It seems that they want him to sign a non-disclosure agreement or some sort of gag order, which a lot of people are, insisting that that doesn't happen. They want to know the truth of the situation of what's been going on with Pat King. What's triggered this video today is that Dave from Live from the Shed has posted a video on his channel, and he's calling for people to send messages to Pat King in jail in the hopes that the guards as well will read them, and kind of aiming them at the guards, but also showing solidarity with a prisoner that's being held imprisoned for seemingly what seems to be political reasons. And here's a bit of an excerpt from Dave's video here.
Dave here, live from the shed, and I have an important message for all Canadians, and indeed people around the world. It has been over 100 days, and Pat King is still in prison without trial. Over 100 days of not seeing loved ones, 100 days on getting behind on his payments, on his life, 100 days of missing important landmarks in his life, 100 days of being locked away, all of his freedoms taken away from him, all without a trial. And I'll be the first to admit, Pat King in the past has said some things that I don't necessarily agree with. But guess what, Canada? Saying things that Dave disagrees with is not a crime, and it's certainly not a crime that's worthy of being locked up for 100 days. But apparently, what is a crime in this country is saying things that Justin Trudeau doesn't like, things that Justin Trudeau disagrees with, because that's what's really going on here. Pat King's only crime is being a successful spokesperson, a successful media influencer, a successful voice that helped bring hundreds of thousands of Canadians together in Ottawa to stand for freedom, to stand against government tyranny, against mandates, against this oppressive government that seeks to dismantle our God-given rights.
Now, I'm not gonna show Dave's whole video here, because you can go over to Live from the Shed and watch it. Of course, the link will be in the description down below. But Dave is calling on people to send messages to Pat King in his jail cell where he can read them, but also that the guards could read them and other officials can read them, and read basically your dissent against their decisions for keeping him in prison where he can't defend himself. Now, a lot of things have been, a lot of charges have been laid against him in the social media sphere and in public and on the news of things that he said in the past, but he hasn't had a chance to defend himself on these things. I would like to hear what he has to say in response to a lot of these accusations, but he's not being given the opportunity to do this. So again, in the interest of being a nation of laws where we all are seen equally under the eyes of the law, it would seem that this particularly is a case where that's not being upheld, and people, whether you agree with Pat King and his stance on certain subjects, or he is a blowhard kind of guy. He's just out in the open, and he kind of pushes his way into the position that he was in when it came to the convoy. And, there was people that agreed with that and disagreed with that. So no matter what the case, again, we're a nation of laws, and we have to respect the law, or the law won't be respected by the citizenry of the country. So I think it's very important that transparency be a little bit more in in the public's interest to know the full story. But anyway, link down in the description down below to Dave's video, and he has links on and an address where you can send your messages out to Pat King and get your voice heard. So that's all I got for you on this video. Leave a comment down in the comment section down below how you think about this whole situation, and we'll see you in the next video. Keep on trucking.